Hi guys, my name is Grace, and this will be an energy check for the Divine Masculines. Now, I specifically asked the spirits um, about what's happening on them from this day, 11th of April, to up until the new moon, which will be around 15 or 16, depending where you're at. But I asked the spirits that whenever you found this video, even though it's after those dates that I mentioned, um, I prayed that you find something, that you found this video for a reason. I really do believe that your divine masculine is currently, that's what he's currently experiencing right now. So yeah, whenever you found this video, this is where your divine masculines are currently at. So first, we've got here the mental space of the divine masculines. Now, it could be just their mental space, or it could, I asked specifically, especially in regards to their divine feminines. So, we have here the King of Swords in reverse, combined with the Three of Pentacles. You can see this is the cards from the tarot of the hidden realm. So yeah, I just remembered to say because someone asked from the previous videos. Anyway, so where divine masculine is currently at in their mental space, especially in regards to divine feminines, with the King of Swords in reverse, it feels like with this one, I can feel like that they're working on something, especially with the Three of Pentacles here. They're working towards a project, and it feels like what I've noticed with this are the clouds here. So I feel like whatever they're working on currently, whatever project this is, whatever they're focusing their mind on at this moment, the divine masculines, the divine feminines will probably feel that their energy is somehow detached from them. This could be why you might be feeling that. And Swords is really a mental card. Swords are all about logic and thoughts. So it's really like it coming up in a mental space. It's really interesting because it's about logic and thoughts. So but also with the King of Swords, what I found out, because I've read about it to gain more additional perspective, it could also be about challenging they're currently challenging their assumptions, and the fixed perspectives that they once had, the assumptions, their opinions, are currently changing, and that is evident. Like, because what I found out last week when I did the reading, they really had the Tower moment in their mental space. So I feel like this is like the after effects of the Tower moments, because Tower could also be about, yeah, it's about sudden change in your life, but Tower moment coming up in the mental space, it's about really changing beliefs, not just any beliefs, but those beliefs that like hardcore beliefs that you had in your life. So I can also feel that there are some fears because it is a result of not understanding deeply. And but because of the King of Swords in reverse coming up in the mental space, I feel like they're trying to change their foundation by discarding the by what I got is they're trying to change their foundations by discarding these outdated self-limiting beliefs. That's what I got when I researched it. And I can almost see and feel like before the divine masculines, their previous energy is like the Eight of Swords. So they are like those are self-limiting beliefs because they're, if you know the Eight of Swords, they are surrounded by swords, so it's surrounded by thoughts, and they feel like there's no way out, and it's a self-imposed limitation. It's a self-imposed um imprisonment within their thoughts. So I feel like this is um the opposite of that. And whatever their attitudes and their opinions that that's holding them back in the past, they're trying to understand it. They're gaining more knowledge. They're trying to understand their fears, like why they have so much fear and why are they being stuck. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. And with this coming up with the Three of Pentacles, what they're currently focusing on mentally, what they're currently thinking, I feel that as I was saying, they're working towards a project in material world. They have this vision, and they want to manifest this vision into reality. That's why it is grounding your visions that you have into the reality, because it's about Pentacles. Pentacles, you already, with Three of Pentacles, you already have the tools that you need. This is just working on it. And this is because this three is all about creativity, creations, and visions. So um I'm trying to look at my notes here, but I cannot understand what I wrote here. Anyway, because usually what we with things, when you also what I got is when with things when you're trying to when you have those beliefs and you came across something that is totally opposed to what you believe in, when you've been conditioned into thinking that way, you think that you try some people are so close up and on those own beliefs that they try to label things that they don't understand or try to just avoid it altogether. Just like for example, you see someone that is not conforming in society, you just say, oh, she's crazy, because it's just easy to just label other people instead of trying to be open and then asking why they're doing what they're doing, especially if it's against what you believe in. So now what I'm trying to say is, now, with the King of Swords, after the Tower moments that they had, all those beliefs came crashing down, and they're opening up and expanding more. And mentally, they're trying to understand more. They're more open to understanding why they had those fears, why they did not open up to this connection. Why did they open up to this journey? Yeah, I really hope you're getting what I mean. And this King of Swords in reverse, most readers would say, like, from what I read, as a negative card, that that the King of Swords in reverse is someone that is manipulative, thinking of manipulation. But intuitively, I really do think that this is not what this card means. But if you're thinking about manipulation, I feel like the King of Swords in reverse combined with the Three of Pentacles, I feel like it's more manipulating the resources that they have to get what they truly desire. And so it's using the connection and disconnection that they have with their divine feminine, this twin flame thing, as an inspiration in the divine masculine's mind. So yeah, that's what I got from these cards here. I hope that made sense and made you think. So now, with the emotional space of divine masculines, currently they have the Seven of Wands combined with another Wands card, but it's the Two of Wands from a different deck. So with the Seven of Wands here, Wands, so in their heart space, especially in regards to divine feminines, they've been feeling rather about Wands are all about taking action, and it could also be about passion. So yeah, and I don't know why I did, but I feel like I've just added 7 plus 2 equals 9, and 9s are all about endings of cycle. So yeah, I feel like emotionally there's this endings of a cycle. And what is that cycle about? Well, what I got from this card is that fear. First, fear. And I think I got it also on the mental space. But mental space, they're more focused. They have this vision. They're more focused on the financial, on the material, on the 3D, in the physical, with this like with the project or something that they want to create. So that's what I got. But with this emotion, within their emotional space, it's about fear. And if, like, I haven't noticed it before, but when I did a reading with someone, and I've read about the meaning of this card, look how this Seven of Swords, this person here has 2 different shoes. And I feel like that combined with the Two of Wands are all about making decisions. So they really do have something that I feel like it's about 2 things that are very dear in their heart. And it might be, for some divine masculines, it might be causing confusion and fear for them. But eventually they have to make a decision, or they're currently trying to make a decision. So so with the Seven of Wands here, I feel like these other ones represents other people's. I always feel like this could be like some may say that this is like enemy, but it depends on the reading. But I really do feel like this represents other people's opinions and expectations on the divine masculines, as I always say. And I feel like this came up from the previous reading as fears. And yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then so with this coming up with the Two of Wands from the other deck, is what I got is quoting from the book. In the midst of discovering who and what they are. So currently in their emotional space, they're in the midst of discovering who they are and what this is all about. You know, what are they feeling? Why they can't get there? They can't seem to like let go of this their divine masculine. Their divine feminines. This one person, and they're trying to make sense of it. And I feel like this is connected to this breaking away of assumptions and beliefs that we have here in the mental space. And because as they break away from those assumptions and belief systems that they have, now they're after the Tower card, I feel like it's clearing out, like it's getting clearer to them. And now they're this really on the way of discovering who and what they are and what they're meant to do. And also what's very interesting, very very interesting about the book, if I read it from the book, what this card means and the story of this card, it said something about twin flames. I have to, where's the book? Here. The Two of Wands. This Two of Wands represent twins, and it says here, they are twin flames exploring, celebrating, and deciding. So I feel like after the Tower happened to their life, and they're now discovering who they are and what they are, and it's related to them being a twin flame. That's just what I got now. And like it really does say here something about twin flames. This is just this card. Where is it? Twin flames there. This card, this book had nothing to do about twin flames. So I feel like that's just really telling. I feel like for some people that's just a confirmation. If you're feeling confused, like if this is really twin flame, if what you're feeling is, are you really in a twin flame journey and you found this video, I feel like this is just a confirmation. So yeah, this is from the book Journey into the Hidden Realm. That's what this tarot card is about. So Anyway, continue with the interpretation of these cards. So that's just like wow. Yeah. They are twin flames exploring, celebrating, and deciding. So yeah, this is really about exploring who they are and deciding, making a decision. Now, this card is also about choice. As a two of wands is always about choice, making a decision. So this card links to this their need for vision, and and also this is also about determination and application, like with the vision here linking to the mental space. And I feel like now all they needed to do, like emotionally decide where to focus their passion. Because once you've made that decision, and once you focus that drive that you have, you can just move forward. So unless you make the decision, unless you really like commit to this journey, you won't be able to move forward yet. So they're on their way. That's what I feel. And like they need to direct and really identify their passion. And I feel like they're currently on their they're currently creating that vision. So yeah, all they needed to do is really identify that passion, and in that way they'll identify their choice. And this is also about, I feel like, fighting for what you think is right, with the 7 of wands here, fighting for what you think is right. And this is all about the heart space, because of the green here. What else do I got from this? So yeah, that's what I got from this card. I hope that made sense, because I really do feel like I'm over explaining that card and expressing what I feel with this card is a bit all over the place. But yeah, basically they're still having fears. They still need to battle out the expectations and opinions of others with this card. But they have this determination and that inner drive and that inner willpower to be able to make a decision about something, about what they're feeling. They're opening up to this twin flame journey. Now, because this is about these are twin flames, as the like from the book. And now once they're on their way to making a decision and a choice in directing their energy into what they really are passionate about. So yeah, that's this card. So now, how are they seeing their divine feminines during this time? How are the divine masculines seeing their divine feminines? We have here, this is very interesting, because we have another 3 of Pentacles. Now we have 2 trees here, and it's both 3 of Pentacles. One from the mental space, from a different deck, and now we have a 3 of Pentacles from the traditional tarot. But this is now how they're seeing their divine feminines. So what I got from this card is also two trees, because I always mention that within a reading when I see like repeating numbers, two trees are all about Trinity. This is like balancing mind, body, and soul. And yeah, that's what the trees are about. And so, going on to the interpretation of this reading, of these cards here. We have here the Three of Pentacles, and we have here the Blasted Beach. And this card is the Tower card in the Hidden Realm Tarot. So, anyway, I'll go to explaining what this card means. This is like the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about what they're thinking about and what they're investing and focusing their time on. I feel like, because this came up to the mental space too. So what they've been thinking about and focusing their time on is, I feel like it is for their divine feminine too. And yes, it's for themselves too. To be able to muster up the courage to come forward to the divine feminines. So I feel like there's this need to establish themselves in the physical for most divine masculines, and to gain a confidence and to have something tangible to show to their divine feminines. Yeah, because as I've always said, there's this need to provide for the most divine masculines. And also, what I got from this is because this card, Three of Pentacles, came up again in how they're seeing their divine feminines. I feel like they really are inspired by the divine feminines. Whatever these visions that their creative project that they're focusing on, it has inspired. It came from the inspiration that they had from the divine feminines. So yeah, that's very interesting. So also what I got from this card is that they view the divine feminines as someone that loves their work, with the Three of Pentacles here. And also someone that is very passionate about their work, and it could also be someone that who is passionate in helping other people, someone that's very skillful and talented. So yeah, that's how they're seeing the divine feminines during this time. And like for some divine feminines, they're seeing you as they're seeing the divine feminines as this represents someone, a person that is helping other people to reach their potential. And whether you are doing that, the divine feminines, because I feel like I'm speaking to most divine feminines. So yeah, whether you are doing that as an act of service for others, because with this journey there is it's really important to focus on service, because I feel like that's really what this journey is about anyway. And because the twin flames individually have their own individual mission and a joint mission together with their divine masculines. So anyway, it could also be that they see the divine feminines as someone who have seen their potential, someone who believes in them. Based on my own experience, I really did tell my from the last conversation with my divine masculine, I really did tell him, because I know he was going through something. I can feel he's going through something, and I know he's going through something. So I told him, I really did tell him, I just like, I believe in him, that I believe in him, and that he can do it. So if you resonate with that, they really see, for some divine feminines, they see their divine feminines as someone who saw their potential. So now they're working on something, a project that inspired them to work. And they can also, this card is also about, they can see they're seeing their divine feminines as someone that has a great communication skills for some, and someone that is really ahead of their time. Like, look how this person is like showing something. So I feel like this is like having a vision, as I've already said about the Three of Pentacles many times already. Being ahead, they see their divine feminines as someone that is very ahead of their time. You're not afraid to stand out from the crowd, or that just eventually happens because they see you divine feminines as very unique, especially if you're going through this, or through your spirituality. You will really start to stand out from the crowd. This is also, it could also be that they see their divine feminines as someone who fights for what they believe in. This links to the Seven of Wands here, because this is fighting about what they think is right. So I feel like because they see the divine feminines as someone that fights for what they believe in, it emotionally stirs up this drive to them to fight about what they think is right, even though they're currently fighting, having these obstacles and fighting the expectation of other people around them. With this Blasted Beach, which is the Tower card in this deck, they view their divine feminines as someone that is, I feel like, the catalyst on what, on how, like, you've been the catalyst into this changing of their views and beliefs and assumptions. And you divine feminines are someone that made them change their overall outlook in the world. Because on my previous readings, they really saw the divine masculines, really saw their divine feminines as someone that changed their world and turned their world upside down. So yeah, that's why I'm saying with the divine masculine seeing you with the Blasted Beach or the Tower card here, you really change. You're the catalyst into changing their outlook in life. And like, just see this picture here with on this card. I really do, whenever I see this card, I really feel like this is represents the divine feminines, and this represents the divine masculines. And how they're seeing the divine feminines, instead of she's supposed to be falling off that oak tree, but instead, yeah, this man is falling, but this woman is like, it's just like she seems to be like floating in the air and gracefully falling. So I really feel like the divine feminines have been a catalyst in that change in the divine masculine's view. And so in regards to how they're viewing, because this card is how they see their divine feminines. So they see the divine feminines, they're this could also be a card about being head over heels with a person, with the divine feminines. And it could also be that they see you, for some people, they see you as someone that has a temper. And that could be a negative, or if I don't know, a bit of a negative. But yeah, I can admit that have I have a bit of a temper too. And but this could also be about you shake up. So yeah, I feel like that would resonate for some people, that temper. So they see the divine feminines as someone who shook up their world and yeah, change their outlook. Someone that is energetic, powerful, and can literally shut down an entire room just by simply walking inside the, like, just simply walking inside a room. They can literally shut down a room. Someone that can be a leader. I feel like, yeah, most divine masculines see the divine feminines as a leader, an inspiration. And they see the divine feminines as someone that catches other people's attention, even though unintentionally. Someone that is like has this magnetism and charisma. And could also be that someone that is solitary or loner. That's just what I found out from what I've researched about the Tower card. And it could also be someone that is very radical and different and extremely enlightening in ways you wouldn't necessarily understand. The type that you wouldn't forget overnight. That's how the divine masculine are seeing their divine feminines. So, yeah. Now, how the divine masculines are seeing their connection with their divine feminines during this time. We have here the Ace of Wands and combined with the Emperor card. I got 2 cards for that. And the Six of Wands in reverse from the other deck. So, what I got from this with the Ace of Wands, plus the Emperor. Ace of Wands, I really do feel like this is all about the new beginnings, and combined with the Emperor here, the Emperor can be about new foundation and needing this stable foundation. So how they're viewing this connection, I feel like they want a new beginning and they need a new stable foundation. They want to create that, because this is all about creativity as well, with all the orange there, and I feel like that's the sacral chakra. And yeah, this could also link to that creation, like creation of a project, as I've already been saying. But in a more negative way, the emperor can also be someone. This could also represent them within this connection, someone that are still trying to control and trying to not really willing to express their emotions. That's just the emperor. But the emperor is the most stable card. Yeah. So, with the Six of Wands in reverse. Also, what I got from this is with the Ace of Wands, whenever I see this card, this can also be about a sexual, just sensing like a sexual energy within this connection, which is not surprising. Now, with the Six of Wands in reverse, this connection is not conventional type, where they don't feel the need, because this is a victory card, and but this came up in reverse, and so I feel like this can be about doubts. They still have doubts within this connection, or the fears. Now, this can also be about public recognition. So it coming up in reverse, I feel like this connection is, because this connection is not conventional. It's not something you can compare to a really like a normal relationship with a 3D, because this connection is more spiritual in nature. So I feel like within this connection, they feel like they don't feel the need to show this connection off to other people to get that validation, because they already feel whole, and it already feels like home to them. That's one perspective that I got from this one. So another interpretation is that they can be doubtful and they still have those fears, as I've already said. Now, I feel like, I don't know why I added this again, but I feel like 6 plus 4 is 10 and it's 1. So this is really, really, really about this new beginnings. Now, they're wanting this new beginnings, but they're feeling fearful, as we've already seen on the heart space here, and the King of Swords. I already mentioned fear, and in their mind, the good thing is, in their mind, they were trying to examine it and understand these fears that are coming up to them. So yeah, that's really a progress. Now, I feel like this also what I got from this is, for some, they're trying to turn, or for most, they're trying to turn this, because this is a victory card, they're trying to turn this upright. They want victory within this connection. So they're trying to muster up the courage. And what I got from this card, especially from the book, courage is not the absence of fear. And fear is good. It's good. Fear is there to protect us, really. And fear is good in good amounts. Now, having fear and getting into that new perception, new perspective, new way of thinking, that having fear, like why they have this fear is because this connection is something that is really, really important to them. And I really feel like they're currently, for most divine masculine, they're just trying to muster up the courage. It's not dissolving all the fears. It's having those fears and doing it anyway. I feel like I've said that in my other video, because I've been experiencing the same thing. I have those fears. Before I even started this tarot reading, I'm so I don't know, I always feel nervous, but I do it anyway. And I feel like, yeah, it's that turning, not dissolving the fear that they have within this connection, but having that fear, having that courage, and doing it anyway. Now, because they do have that want to reunite and want to celebrate. They want this stability with the Emperor here. This can also be about power and confidence. And so, yeah. Now, so what are those fears? Whenever I ask fears, tons of cards just comes up. Like, I mean, like, are there too many fears or what? But yeah, we have here 3 cards. We have here the 9 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, with the 5 of Swords. And from the other deck, we've got 2 cards. We have the Knight of Swords combined with the Page of Cups in reverse. Now, what I've noticed on this reading, there are wands here, there are swords, there are pentacles. What we're lacking is we don't have that much cups. So yeah, they're not really within their emotions during this time. We only have 1 cups, and that's a Page of Cups, but it's in reverse and it's on the fears. So anyway, interpretation of this card. They're trying to understand the situation. Mostly as a divine masculine anyway. They're more in their, like, the divine feminines are more intuitive, and the divine feminine qualities and divine masculine qualities are more like on the logic side. And yeah. So anyway, what I got from this as fears. So we have here the 9 of Pentacles. For some people, it could be that it represents the divine feminines. Like, they see their divine feminines as someone that is satisfied in their life. They could appear like that, or it could represent. So it represents their fears. Like, do you still need me in my life? If they're not yet on that thinking that you don't have to feel needed to be with someone else's, to be reunited with someone. Like, if they're still on their old way of thinking, they might be thinking that to be in someone else's life, you must feel needed. And I hope that that's making sense. But yeah, that's just what I got. Like with these general readings, because it's a collective energy, I do get, it can be confusing, and I do get a lot of like perspective on how to read the cards. So just take what resonates, really. And um this could also be what I got from this, and another point of view. This could represent that, because it came up in the fear. Nine of Pentacles is someone that is satisfied and independent, and like well established in their life, in the physical. So I feel like they still have their fears, that they may not yet feel that they're independent in any way, shape, or form. It could be independent financially, or just generally having that freedom, you know? So, with the coming up with the Wheel of Fortune here, what I got from this is that, like, I feel like this, look how this is like reading books, and I feel like this is them studying um towards this like creative project that they're trying to create. And also, I don't know why I said that first, but yeah, what I got from this card also is that um the wheels could also be an end of cycle. I feel like I've already said this on this emotional space. They could be ending some cycle. So, yeah, this is just reaffirming that they're ending a cycle. And I feel like this could also be about what you reap is what you sow. So they've, like, I feel like they're thinking if they have done enough, and am I doing enough? They're having that mental battle within themselves, because this can also be about mental conflict card. So they're really thinking if they're doing enough towards the creative project. They really are studying and striving towards that. So they're having fears. That's why it's coming up in the fears. And now with this Five of Swords in the fears, yeah, I really do feel this is like a mental battle, and it could also be a battle with other people, but with a mental battle, because it's swords, because it's about thoughts and logic. So yeah, it's about the mind. And I feel like, because this is being in a battle but winning, but so I feel like for some they have won a battle. And if you look closely on the Wheel of Fortune, as I noticed, like this person and this on the top here is also holding a sword, like very synchronistic with that. So I feel like because they're on top now they're on top, they won a battle. Now whether with other people or within a situation that they have, or within themselves, in a way that they are sticking up to what they believe in, because there's been some change of beliefs, and I feel like they're having mixed emotions about that. Like with they had, it was painful for them too, and I feel like, yeah, with this they are on top of the wheel, and I feel like this came up as a fear because they're scared of the impermanence of the wheel of life. They're not, or like, they're not used to winning, so they still have fears about that. So for some people, for some divine masculine, what I got from this is that they're getting out of a certain situation and now they're single. With the nine of pentacles here, now they're single. So it took some courage, and now they can focus on themselves. And I feel like the battle was hard, and the victory is bittersweet. That's really linked to, that's a quote from the book, and from the book of this card, like from the Knight of Swords. When I read the Knight of Swords, what this means, what I got from the book is the battle was hard and the victory is bittersweet. So this really ties into the message of this mental battle or battle with other people that they had. They won the battle, but it was bittersweet. That's just what I'm trying to express there. And now, with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, the additional message about their fears is that this Knight of Swords is all about, this could simply be about like fast action, fast forward movement, and action towards communication. Because this could also be communication because this is page, and communication because this is swords card. I feel like this Knight of Swords is someone that is motivated. Like from the book, it says that this Knight of Swords is someone that is motivated by ideas and ideals rather than emotions. So maybe, yes, really that's why the Page of Cups is in reverse. Now, this Knight of Swords is someone that is single-minded and ideal-driven, that he can forget to consider the feelings and needs of others. Someone that moves quickly and decisively and always convinced that he's doing the right thing. Now, I think I've already said that with this card here, they're trying to fight a battle, and they're trying to overcome the obstacles, and trying to fight what they believe in. Now, with this, obviously they have fear with that, so I feel like this is very similar to this. That's why this Knight of Swords came up on the fear card, As I've already said, they have fears with this Seven of Wands here. So now, but in all things, from the book also, quoting from the book, it says, in all things, he obeys the call of his goddess. So when I read that line, I really do feel like the goddess is referring to the divine feminine. But it could also be referring to their inner goddess, like their intuitive side, like their instincts, like this is the right thing to do. But at the same time, they have fears about that. Remember, like, if you watch my previous reading, they're not used to listening to their intuition and listening to the guidance from angels, so they have fears about that. So I feel like, yeah, now they trying to do the right thing, but they still have fears about it, which is understandable. Now, with the Page of Cups in reverse here, when it's in upright, you are fascinated by emotions and your feelings. You're focused on your emotions and feelings, or some creative project. But because it's in reverse, I feel like they're not very focused on their love and their emotions and their feelings. As I've already said with this card, it's the only cups card that came up in this reading, but it's in reverse. And I feel like after this battle, after what happened to them, they were heartbroken, they had pain, it was bittersweet. I feel like this is them needing a break from emotions and love. And because at the moment, they were left mentally broken and vulnerable. But this could also be about the fear of the divine masculines. For some divine masculines, this is just a fear of offering love, because this could be an offer of love and communication, like communicating your love, expressing your love, especially the divine feminines. And because this is just a message that they fear rejection, because they're currently vulnerable at this state. But for some, I don't know why I got unplanned pregnancy. But yeah, this can also be, because Page of Cups also be about receiving news about something good. But because it's reversed, it could be about unplanned pregnancy that just caught my attention. So for some people, it could resonate to you. And yeah, whether it's with the divine feminines or with someone else. Now, what do they want to do about these fears that they have? How are they coping within these fears? How are the divine masculines are coping? We have here the Four of Wands combined with the Three of Swords. So yeah, this is a very positive card, and combined with a not very positive card. In the traditional tarot, this is the Heart with the Three Swords. Now, with the Four of Wands here, what they want to do about it? I feel like this is a straightforward card. They want to. They do want this reunion, as I've already been saying. They want this reunion. This could represent reunion, wanting to celebrate, wanting this stability, because it's a 4. This is another 4 with the Emperor card here. So yeah, they're really wanting this stability within this connection. They want to achieve this, whatever this is, the goal that they have, and they want to celebrate with their divine feminines. Now, 4 and 4 can also be about getting help from the angels. So yeah, now they want this power. They want to feel confident. This could also be about marriage. They want the marriage, and not with anyone, but someone that they really love the most, which is a divine feminine. And now, with it combined with the Three of Swords card, what I feel with this is, what this reminded me is the thorns, because how it's depicted in this deck, it has some roses and with some thorns, and this woman here, she's holding too tightly on the thorns, on the rose, and she's bleeding. So now, what I got from this is that, I remember this something, that video that I watched yesterday, and it's about it's an Oprah video, and she was interviewing someone, an author of a book, and his name is Michael Singer, and he's saying about something that every person has a thorn, and your problems are your thorn, and yeah, they're represented by a thorn, and now you have two options with that. It's either to keep the thorn, or those problems, those fears, and feel the pain, or remove the thorn altogether and never think about it again. Now, now he's saying that those thorns, if like this spiritual journey, like once you remove those thorns, that's what spirituality is about. And we all know that, yeah, this twin flame journey is really based on spirituality. Now, more than the actual union, it's becoming whole within our own self, getting to the point that we don't need the other person to complete us. That's when we'll get to this. Now, this thorn, I feel like, because it's coming up to what they want to do about it, those fears. Now, these thorns, it could be like for some divine masculine, because as he explained further about the thorns that, like, imagine like this analogy of the thorns. Imagine the thorn touches the nerve in your body, and whenever someone, like, imagine that thorn is in your arm, like what he said, like you have a thorn in your hand, in your arm, and it is directly linked to the nerve in your body. So whenever someone touch that thorn, or something touch that thorn that you have, it causes a disturbance within you. It causes pain within you. And now, for most people, what they do is to create a life that where it is avoiding the thorn. So what ends up happening is you avoid that thorn altogether in your life. You create a life that is safe enough that you won't be able to disturb the thorns. That the thorn represent all those it's basically building a life where you are avoiding all that stuff, that avoiding touching all the stuff that has happened to you, that you can't handle all those problems. That's basically what he said. And to train those people around you so that they won't be able to touch the thorn. Now, what am I trying to say here? So, now I feel like with the divine masculines, because it's coming up in a divine masculine reading, I feel like for some divine masculine, it could be that this can also be about the divine feminines too. But yeah, like with the divine masculines, because they've the reason why they haven't reunited, they have with their twin flame, with the divine feminines, even though they feel strongly about this other person, is that they trigger this thorn. Because to be able to get into this journey, you have to remove that thorn, and removing that thorn is means surrendering to your spirituality. So they're not used to that. So they create a life where it's safe enough to not. Those thorn represents those traumatic events that have happened in their life. They need to open up their heart, but they cannot open up their heart if, like, this is a Three of Swords, if they still have those thorns with them. And so what ends up happening is avoiding those opening up emotionally, avoiding the thorns altogether, and what ends up happening is they're with someone like a karmic partner that they're not really emotionally attached in, but because it's more safer, that's why they choose another person, not their divine feminines. That's just what I got. Now, according to the book, this can also be about obsession. Like, look how she's looking at this this union. So this can also be about obsession and thoughts, having thoughts and experiencing something that is causing, like, this woman is, oh my gosh, I can't express myself. The way that it could be someone that the way they're thinking about this is that they are having obsession and it's causing them pain. They're holding on to this too tightly, to what they're desiring, that it's causing them pain. Like, look how she's bleeding, but she seems like not caring about it, like almost unaware of it. And I feel like holding on too tightly and obsessing about this is keeping keeping you from the natural process of healing. I feel like I have to look at it in the book because I really having trouble communicating what I want to say here. So it's a Three of Swords. Like, bear with me. I know this is really long reading, but I hope you're getting something out of it. So now, what this book says is on this card: sorrow and pain are part of life. Acknowledging them, feeling them, processing them, and weaving them into your life as you move forward are all normal, and most would say a healthy part of the process. But this card isn't really about that. Thoughts can become hamster wheel of obsession. It may very well be true that you've experienced something that caused you pain, but the way you are thinking about the event is keeping you from the natural process of healing, and in fact may be causing more harm, which may have permanent repercussions. So now, the way that I see this card is, I feel like opposite to what they're saying on the book, intuitively. As I was saying, it's about the thorn and removing the thorn. Well, I feel like it's more about we've been conditioned to that having no pain, no gain belief. And I feel like you don't really have to always suffer in getting what you want. I feel like that's what I learned from like getting more into spirituality. Yes, you do have to take action and do whatever you can to manifest what you want, but you don't really have to like, it doesn't have, the process doesn't have to be always painful. I feel like this is all about the divine masculines choosing to remove the thorn and let it go. Whatever that's causing them pain, and surrendering to spirituality, as I've already said. And I also feel like this can be also about both divine feminine and divine masculine. This is all about facing your sorrows and getting to the root of it instead of avoiding it. Like the common reason, I believe, the common reason why people don't heal is because they don't allow themselves to feel the pain and sadness. They don't surrender to that emotions. We always want to feel happy, yes, but feeling sadness is another emotion, and I know it's uncomfortable emotions, but it triggers this transformation. Like when we feel sadness and pain, we just immediately want to get away from it, want to avoid it. So yeah, it's just, I feel like the message of this card is just facing the pain and sadness, and finding the growth that those, like really understanding and finding what's causing you pain and how you can grow from it. I hope that made sense. I feel like how I interpreted this card is a bit contradicting, but yeah, that's what they want to do about it. Okay, so now I pull out some cards on to about the guidance for the people that's watching this video. So what I got from that is this ask. So if even though if you're the divine feminine or if you're the divine masculine, it's the message for you. We have here ask and daydream. The first card is ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your requests. Now, the next one is daydream. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. Now, I love that it came with what you need to heal. We have here choice. This is all about free will, courage, willpower, and change. And I feel like it's very linked to this ask message because it says here that you have a free will that allows you to make your own choices with a choice card here and decisions. So we patiently await your request. So how synchronistic is this? The divine masculine are focusing on also on emotionally making choices with the Two of Wands here, and the divine, because this card I asked is for healing for the divine feminine, feminine specifically. So this came up, like choices came up for her too. So I feel like this is just all about asking, really choosing where you want to go, where you want to move forward into in your life, so that it comes to you. And you don't have to go through it alone. You can always ask your angels, and you really just need to communicate to them what is it that you really want and what you need help to in taking action. Once you know what you really want towards taking action, you can still ask them for help. That links with the now that links with the daydream card here. Now, what you need to surrender in accordance to this, you need to surrender to receiving support and love. As I've said, you need to surrender to the support and love that you're receiving from the angels. Now, you have to be open to receiving support. You don't have to go through this alone. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So yeah, be receptive to the angels. Now, it links to the daydream card because it says you will easily hear and receive our messages. This is all about receiving the messages once you've asked for help. You need to be in this daydream state. I feel like with the daydream state, this could be just clearing your mind. This could be through meditation, or this could also just be, taking a pause in your busy day and just being mindful, and being in that receptive state, practicing mindfulness in your life. And what I got from this also is, with this card came the surrender to miracles. So be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. I feel like this is dreaming. Like when you ask for something, this is dreaming, dream bigger. Ask for something bigger and believe that it will come to you. I wanted to share this because I got a surprise this is like, this is what I got from, like, the message for me personally from the universe. And this just came to me by surprise, but I really do feel like I have to share this with you too. So, it says that it is not the unseen that is fiction, but the seen. And you know how fiction goes? You get to make stuff up, which incidentally you do rather well. This is a reminder from Spirit that you are the magician of your life. It is not seeing that is believing, but rather believing is seeing. Manifest what you choose to believe in, and you will go far. So really, this is like visualizing what you want in your life so that it will come. And when you dream bigger and believe in miracles. Because what you choose, whatever it is that you choose to believe in, you have the power to manifest that into the reality as long as you believe in that. But at the same time, also, don't be so attached to the results. Believing is seeing. Believe so that you will see it in your reality. I think that's already key thing from the previous video. So now, from the book, it says, with the daydream there, because I'm trying to be fast because this is a very long reading now. Now, it says here that the angels sent you this card because they wished you to be open and receptive to new ideas. It's important for you to engage in daydreaming now as a way to receive inspiration and wonderful ideas. Don't try to make anything happen. Just follow the trail of your thoughts naturally as they flow into new ways of looking at things. Write your ideas in a special journal and ask your angels for guidance on which action or steps to take to enact these dreams. Take action without delay where you're guided. So that's the message for you if you're watching this video. Which you are obviously what you're obviously doing. Now, take action without delay where you're guided. Now, what I also got that you need healing is honesty. This is about throat chakra. This is all about truth, transparency, sincerity, and communication. So, with that honesty card there, I feel like what I got from this is just basically when you're communicating on what you need, just be honest about it. And this is all about authenticity too as well. That's what I got from this card. And be honest. Like when you want to manifest what you want and you ask for support, Is that really what you want? Like, for example, you want to manifest your divine masculine in your life. You want this union. Now, do you really want this union? Or this is all about being truthful and being honest. Do you really want this union, or do you really just want this union to be able to feel that part within yourself that is not complete, or that needs healing? That's really what I got from this card intuitively. So think about it. Now with the honesty card, be clear to what you want so that it comes to you. Now, honesty opens the door to true freedom. Honesty is the currency of inner strength. Experience the power of sharing your truth. And this card is a call to new levels of honesty and transparency. It is time to honor your values and beliefs and to live in alignment with this. So yeah, this is all about being authentic. And what I also got from when I'm watching another video, they said something about being authentic. And being authentic is, when you are authentic, you attract authentic connections within your life. So it's all comes down, it all boils down in you healing and being authentic within your own self and living your truth, being transparent and being sincere. Once you do that, you'll be able to attract authentic connections. So that's probably a block why you haven't you're not yet complete and you haven't attracted this union yet in your life. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, that's what I got for you. And I feel like I need to end that reading right there. What else do I have here? I feel like for now, that's the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I know I'm a bit or a lot all over the place, but I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, I feel like I hope I helped you in some shape, way, or form. And if you want a more clear reading, if you want a personal reading from me, if this resonated with you want a personal reading from me, all my details are down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all love and light.